One man learned the hard way that selling something online can be risky.
Well, my heart goes out to her family. That's a hard pill to swallow. And now they have to bury her.
A Lexington man charged with murder and abuse of a corpse was in court today. We have the latest on this case.
A big temperature drop will lead to a period of light snow, and some of it may stick. I'll talk about a low total coming up.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening to you. It has been a beautiful day here in the Bluegrass. Sunny skies and warmer temperatures. Almost a little taste of spring.
Almost. Enjoy it while you can, though. We are tracking the chance for more winter weather tonight, and that begins with a big drop in the temperatures. We begin with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. He's tracking snow chances on the First Alert Defender.
Yeah, I said yesterday that a lot of folks would be outside this afternoon thinking, okay, you're crazy talking about some snow coming tonight. It's in the 50s. You're right, on both occasions it is in the 50s, and sometimes we get a little crazy, but yeah, some light snow is coming down the road later this evening and especially into the middle of the night. Winter weather advisory out for a number of counties out there. Now, if you're not included in this, you know what? Basically, it's a one-size snowfall fits all. Everybody should come in around an inch, if not down to a coating. So a coating to 1 inch of snow, a possibility later on tonight. Right now, we're starting to see the clouds that are increasing ahead of that big temperature drop. Already down to 49 degrees in Lexington. Humidity, though, is at 39%. So that initial burst of some snow that comes in here late this evening into the overnight is going to have to fight that very dry air that is in place. So that may kind of eat away at some of that. We go from the 40s into Lexington, 53 still into Louisville. That's a thermometer that just runs absurdly hot a lot of times. 29 degrees in Indianapolis, 18 into Chicago. That is the colder air that is marching toward the south and southeast, and the band of some light to moderate snow showing up into the cold sector of that. And you notice here on Defender how you get a little streak of some snow, some brighter whites here. That's how you can pick up a quick inch, while areas that have the lighter gray here would be just kind of stuck in neutral in the middle of that with a coating or two. So everybody anywhere from a coating to as much as an inch of snow. But guys, this will be enough with crashing temperatures and gusty winds to cause some slick travel late tonight and early on your Thursday.
It was a gruesome discovery, parts of a body found in the Kentucky River last fall. Tonight, the man accused of murdering this woman and then dumping her body parts in the river says he is innocent.
Paris Charles is charged with first-degree murder and abuse of a corpse in the death of his girlfriend, Goldie Massey. Today, he pled not guilty in court. WKYT Sam Smith was there and has more from Charles' neighbor. It's our top story at 5:30.
An attorney entered a not guilty plea on behalf of Paris Charles in district court today.
Paris Randall Charles.
The judge appointed him an attorney because he says he has no income. He's accused of murder and abuse of a corpse. Police say he killed Goldie Massey back in late September. Her son says Massey and Charles were dating. She was reported missing in October. Her remains were found a few weeks later along the Kentucky River. The scene of his arrest and search of his home caught the attention of those living around him.
Well, I came to my door yesterday, and then I looked out and saw a lot of undercover cops. And when I came back to the door, I noticed that a lot was going on.
It's unclear what tied Charles to this case. His arrest citation indicates Charles might have killed Massey in his home. Sharon Scarborough says she's seen them fight before.
She came here one time to use my phone. They had been in some kind of confrontation, and she wanted to call the police, but she decided not to call, and she left. And I asked her was she going to be okay, and she said yes and left.
Records show Charles has multiple domestic violence arrests in the past, none against Massey, though.
My heart goes out to her family. That's a hard pill to swallow.
Charles remains in jail on no bond. In Lexington, Sam Smith, WKYT.
And right now, Charles is scheduled to be back in court on February 12th. Firefighters say the smoke could be seen from miles away. 63 firefighters spent the morning battling a massive fire at the Thoroughbred Center off Paris Pike. It took nearly 4 hours to knock out that fire. No one was injured, but now crews say the fire could have been caused by a candle left in an apartment above the center. Coming up at 6, we'll have the latest on the investigation.
It's not your traditional day off. Many school districts in the state are taking a new approach to snow days. Instructional days at home instead of a snow day. And Boyle County is just one example of a school district participating in this non-traditional program. Our Phil Pendleton shows us how weather is not putting the brakes on learning.
A snow day usually means another day to sleep in and maybe to do nothing. But in Boyle County,
I really encourage students to get up and get out of bed and get to work.
Students in every school, children of every grade, are learning at home, and teachers.
I was online all day answering questions, tweaking problems if we had them.
January 27th was the first of what's being called a non-traditional snow day.
I used a program called Blend Space that had everything they needed.
Most students are learning online. Others have take-home packets.
And most of my students said to me that what I gave them took them about an hour. And they're in my class for about an hour.
Officials say more than 90% of their parents approve of the program, and nearly all the teachers like it. But they admit it's not perfect.
They did indicate that there were some issues that we have to work through. There's some technology issues.
Students can even take tests at home, and the grading is much faster.
The nice thing about that is they get automatic feedback. And I don't know about you, but I remember being a student and wanting to know, how did I do? And you know, that anxiety of, did I do well? How did I perform? That's relieved.
Unlike a snow day, the non-traditional days won't have to be made up in the summer. In Boyle County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Boyle County school leaders tell us there will still be some regular snow days. Leaders say a snow day would be called if a storm had the potential to cause widespread internet or power outages.
Tonight, we are learning a Richmond school will close tomorrow because of illness. School leaders at Model Lab School tell us they have had a high number of sick students and staff this week. The school is scheduled to reopen on Friday. It is a battle many Kentuckians have been fighting for several years, the decision whether or not to eliminate the death penalty here in the Commonwealth. Now, several lawmakers are planning to introduce new legislation that would ban the death penalty and replace it with life in prison without parole. Lawmakers who are against capital punishment say not only is it wrong, but it costs taxpayers too much money.
Without parole makes much more sense. It costs 80% less, perhaps.
Since 1976, 3 people have been put to death by the death penalty.
Facebook helping investigators track down the suspect in a trailer theft. Our county-by-county coverage begins in Laurel County. Steve Robinson is charged with theft in Laurel County. The sheriff's office says he stole the trailer from outside a home on Flatwoods Road last Friday. We're told he did not have a hitch big enough and left the scene, then returned with a larger one. The owner found the trailer after posting pictures to Facebook. Deputies also posted surveillance pictures in order to find Robinson. In Anderson County, a man is facing multiple charges after police say he tried to sell deer meat on Facebook. According to the Anderson News, Fish and Wildlife cited David Waters last month after getting a complaint that he was trying to sell deer meat on Facebook for $200. When officers called Waters, he told them he had 7 deer. When officers checked the agency's records, they learned he only checked 6 of the animals. He's now charged with the attempted sale of protected wildlife and illegally taking a deer. And in Madison County, the deputies are asking for your help figuring out who broke into some vehicles last night. Deputies say that between midnight and 5 a.m., the suspect in the picture used one of the victim's credit cards to buy several items at the Richmond Walmart. He was last seen driving an older model white 4-door sedan. If you have any information, you're asked to call the sheriff's office. It was supposed to be a very simple online transaction, a seller with an auto part, a buyer who offered to pay for it. But the buyer in this case had something else in mind. The internet is a great way to buy and sell almost anything, even a car bumper. That's what one seller thought.
I sold him the bumper, and 2 or 3 days later he opened a PayPal claim stating that the bumper was missing a front grille.
The problem, Mohammed's ad never said the grille was included. The $3,000 price tag was just for the bumper. But Mohammed was prepared to make it right.
Send me the bumper back, and once I receive the bumper, I'll give you the money back.
9 days later, Mohammed received a tracking number and a notice the package arrived. But when he got to the post office,
they came out with a box which was 2 by 2 and weighing 1 pound.
Clearly not a car bumper. Mohammed knew something was not right, so he contacted postal inspectors.
It was basically a race. What the scammer was hoping was that he could deceive Mohammed into returning the money before Mohammed figured out there was no bumper en route.
The scam was working.
He just picked a random priority box, filled it up with a stack of newspapers, presented it to the post office, and got a tracking number.
In fact, PayPal returned the money to the buyer based on the bogus tracking number showing the boxes arrived.
The buyer had no intention of sending back the bumper. What he was really hoping to do was keep the bumper and get his money back.
And postal inspectors learned the scam artist had been involved in similar schemes. The victim in this story eventually got all of his money back via PayPal.